here we have a Lafayette receiver, yet another stereo system for me to work on. Again, this is not what I typically do, but I have it. I want to get it recapped. You have speakers off and on switch here, AFC power switch here, volume, bass, treble, FM, and then tuning. This has AM and FM, noise filter, mono, and stereo. So you also have a tuning indicator here. This was built in Japan by Kenwood, I believe. And it uses tubes, of course. I don't really work in anything solid state. So let's take a look at this underneath and see what we're dealing with. So what we have here is a recapper's dream. This is unfortunately full of these gray, whatever they are, paper and oil capacitors and electrolytics. These ELNA electrolytics are beyond their expiration date at this point. It's kind of interesting as this does work. I don't think it performs as well as it should, but yeah. We got a big electrolytic there. We got another one here. Oh, this one doesn't look so good. Let's look at this. Yes, that one has expanded. So that means it was dried out and reformed. May still be okay for now, but it's definitely not good. Yeah, and then these 0.001, 600 volts, that needs to be replaced. All these little ones, 0.05. So these I can start changing. These look like paper caps, although I don't know if they are. Those may not be. I'll have to look that up and see. The others, definitely the gray ones, need to go. All of them. So, yeah. I guess what I'll do is get started with the caps I do have. I'm going to have to order some parts. So I'll change what I have, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I went ahead and I changed what I had, which was we have a mix of different types of capacitors, but that's okay. The orange ones are better quality, but the others will work just fine. And this is not a really high-powered receiver. Basically, this is like a radio with FM and, the external speaker hookup and a phono stage. So it's it's nothing particularly special, but it should perform pretty well. And got a few more. There's one over here, several over here. The big cans, which I have one on order and the other I'm going to replace with individuals. And then these two here, one down here. So we're definitely more than halfway done. There's a couple there. Those I have, it's like 4 on order. Now I also have these wax ones. Come on, focus today. No. 0.1s. I think they're all 0.1s. So I'll have to change those. Those are not wax. They're paper and oil as well. So those, that they'll work until they decide to short. I'd rather them not short. I just want this thing to be reliable. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. As we continue to change capacitors, I just want to show you here. This is leaking. It's a paper and oil. That's what these things do. They like to leak. And ultimately, they cause problems. So I'm replacing them with these film capacitors, which are fine. These are, they work fine. So that one goes right here across this resistor. I did check these resistors. They're pretty close. The quality of this is very good, except for the capacitors are just, they weren't meant to last this long. So that's why we're changing them. Okay, I finished recapping the tone controls. So here's your treble control here, and this is your bass. A lot of electrolytics. Almost all of them. Here's one. This is a 25. This one has a little bit of leakage. You can't see because the phone won't focus. But basically, any of those were starting to leak electrolyte, which is bad, or oil, whatever it is. So they're on their way out. So that's good. We replaced those. Then I've got these two down here. Got one more down there. And a couple up here, and then we're on to the big cans, which will come next. So it's a lot to do in this thing. This is really pretty, intense, to be honest. Oh, there's one here, that 1.1 over there. So yeah, it just keeps going. There's probably some hidden ones I'll miss, and then I'll come back and say, oh, I didn't order that value, and we'll find out. Okay, so we've got a capacitor to replace, all right? This thing is swollen. That's bad. That's really bad. So we're going to replace it. I have the tube. I just moved it for safekeeping. What I'm going to replace it with is these little guys. One of them go in there. So, yeah, that'll be fun. All right, well, I managed to loosen this up just a little. I hope it's going to come out. I'm going to unsolder it now. Okay, so I put that in there. This is not the best. I used some bubble wrap and some tape. I know, crazy, but it works, and it's not too tight, so it should be. Does move around a little bit. I might put a little glue on it just to keep it in place once I wire it up. But it's fine. No one's going to open this up, and even if they do, that's not a big deal. Okay, I went through here and I changed these electrolytics here. And one paper cap right here. And of course I've changed that already. So we're about ready to power this up. Makes me a little nervous. You can see what I did here. It's not the neatest thing ever, but it certainly works. And these guys are in here. They're not going to go anywhere. So there's no shorts or anything that's going to happen. This is not the best, but it's not going to move. That's a terminal strip, so that's okay. So we should be in pretty good shape here. The one other thing I wanted to do was these resistors here. I believe one of them was out of tolerance, so I'm going to change that before I power it up. Okay, we've got our casualty list over there. We are going to, I'll put this at a bit of volume here. We'll have it on that 675 FM. We'll put on FM. Stereo speakers are on. Yeah, it looks all right. So I'm going to have it on the Variac and the dim bulb. So I'm going to go ahead and power it on. 0 volts, of course. I've got the speakers connected over here. I'm going to turn this on. And let's give it 10 volts. Huh. 30 volts. Oh. Well, it would help to turn on the Variac. So the Variac is on. Okay, 10 volts. Already got 15 volts on the first filter. Remember that the rectifiers are solid state, so that gives you instant voltage. So we're 20 volts. We're at 25 volts. At 30 volts now. It's not going to do anything until I get up a lot higher. I see the tubes warming up. That's good. Okay. We're at 50 volts. Yeah, I see the... Should be. here's something. Oh.
Talk a little bit about what radio means to you.
I guess we're on AM.
So,
Radio told me that that mean that's crap. Because I'm your mother. And it's very crass. And I don't like crass things.
so you're calling yourself crass?
I mean, I know that I can be crass sometimes too, but
Band am I on? So this is yeah. Wow. It's just
sure. I mean, but I think you know all the things that are annoying. I don't like it when people don't make their beds in the morning, and that's certainly you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
wow. Okay.
Not being neat, tardiness, you know, the normal things bother me, and I find those things annoying.
Right, but do you ever find
We're up to 110 volts.
Oh, annoying? No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't. I mean, sometimes I have felt hassled because I work full time and I have a lot to do, and sometimes when...
Well, this is good news. We have a radio and it works. Both AM and FM. I'm assuming the rest of it will work because obviously the amplifier is working if the radio is working. So this is good news. This is very good news. What I would like to do next is just go over my work, make sure everything looks good. There's one capacitor I didn't change. I was a little afraid of changing it. So there's that. It's buried underneath a what do they call it, a couplet with very thin wires, and those break if you move them, and I think it's one low voltage electrolytic which probably will survive for a while anyway. So I think this is going to a friend of mine, and realistically if he does ever have a problem with it, I should be able to take a look at it for him. Clean the controls. The one other thing which I do need to do, and I'm not looking forward to it, is this knob is loose. There we go. This knob is loose here. See this one? And just that one? I think it is. Oh no, the base is a little bit loose too. So those two knobs are a little bit loose, and they will need to be tightened. What's happened is this faceplate comes off, and there's a nut that holds them on to the front of the unit, which is behind the faceplate. So that needs to be removed, but in order to get the faceplate off, I have to unscrew the set screws on each of these knobs, and it's annoying. That's all. So I have to do that. I do need to clean this knob, this switch a little bit. It's a little more dirty than I thought it was. So I'll do that. I'll clean these rocker switches, and we should be good to go. I think we have at least something that works. I don't know how it's going to sound when it's done. The bass seemed a little lacking, but I also was on the light bulb, so we'll see. Okay, it seems to be this FM tuner is fantastic. Oh my god. This station doesn't come in well. This is really, really good.
Details at familyradio.org. Investigators say they don't yet have an idea.
Or concerts.
Us?
Sure. Tickets and more information are there.
Okay, it doesn't get the
I
country
don't like
station.
to quote.
It's a really wonderful.
What? Sometimes you say
That's
that
NPR.
you're afraid of me. Why are you afraid of me?
Because you're scary sometimes. And you're a lot scarier than Dad is.
And why is that?
Whenever I
Very
talk to my
clear.
friends about you being scary, and this pretty bullet on trying to secure over.
So I'm removing the front faceplate here. I removed these two screws here and the bottom, and I removed the knobs, obviously. These knobs come right off. They're just actually pretty nice aluminum. And then I'm removing these screws here. And then this should just come right off, so I got to do that one, and then we're done. I just went ahead and I tightened these, so this is nice and tight now. So is this and this one. These do not have anything, but what I will do is put a little bit of oil just there so that they turn nicely when you go to turn them. Okay, let's try. Bit of interference here.
Clear it out. Wilton's gonna get a shot from up top. That one's tipped.
Oh, that's AM. There we go.
Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com for more info.
Milk, eggs, was walking. He posted to me. John Lovitz is supposed to be one of the greatest
It's
comedians
FM.
of all time. It's embarrassing.
Very tough break. And again, that icing, I think the rules has to be different in high school because they definitely won the chase
AFC,
down. But
noise
you know,
filter,
no icing, or the icing
mono
still called,
stereo.
so I wonder if the rules are different in high school.
Told their doctors and found out they have atrial.
Get it up.
Escríbenos un mensaje por direct message con el...
Mostly music.
With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection.
Phono auxiliary. Yeah, so it's working.
Had a close game on their last matchup together. So
Sound is not the greatest.
Wilson's up 1-0. So.
Receiver's pretty good, but the amplifier's pretty good, but the sound is a little bit
Shot coming in.
left
And it's
a
just gonna
little
miss
to
wide.
desire.
Great chance there. Back
But
around.
that's
Will
okay.
guys.
So yeah. Anyway, that's that. I'm gonna hook it up to a different set of speakers. I'm curious to see what this can do with bigger speakers. I'm wondering if, because it is single-ended, so it doesn't have that deep bass response that the push-pull amplifiers will have. So I'm not expecting too much, but I think this just needs bigger speakers, physically bigger speakers. But yeah, not bad.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
Don't forget about you when you leave. Your friend, but that'll be crazy.